standing in a bus queue at the side of a long, mean street. Evening was just closing in and it was raining. I had been wandering for hours in similar mean streets, always in the rain, and always in evening twilight. Time seemed to have paused on that dismal moment when only a few shops have lit up and it is not yet dark enough for their windows to look cheering. And just as the evening never advanced to night, so my walking had never brought me to the better parts of the town. However far I went, I found only dingy lodging houses, small tobacconists, hoardings from which posters hung in rags, windowless warehouses, and bookshops of the sort that sell the works of Aristotle. I never met anyone. And he had been very badly treated by a girl, too. He had thought her to be a really adult and civilized personality, and then she had unexpectedly revealed herself to be a mass of bourgeois prejudices and monogamic instincts. Jealousy, possessiveness was a quality he particularly disliked. She had even shown herself at the end to be mean about money. That was the last straw. He jumped under a train. I gave a start, but he took no notice. The nearest of those old ones is Napoleon. Now we know this because two chaps made the journey to see him. They started long before I came, of course, but I was there when they came back about 15,000 years of our time. It took them. We picked out the house by now, just a little pinprick of light with nothing else near it for millions of miles. Did they get there? That's right. He built himself a huge house, all in the Empire style, rows of windows flaming with light, though it only shows us a pinprick from where I live. And did they see Napoleon? That's right. They went up to one of the windows and they looked through. Napoleon was there all right. What was he doing? Walking. Walking up and down. Up and down, left, right, never stopping for a moment. Two chaps watched him for about a year and he never rested. Muttering to himself all the time, it was Sue's fault. It was Ned's fault. It was Josephine's fault. It was the fault of the English. It was the fault of the Russians. Like that all the time. No, I never asked for anything that wasn't mine by rights. If I wanted a drink, I paid for it, see? But if I took my wages, I'd done my job. That's the sort of chap I was, and I don't care who knows about it. It would be much better if you didn't go on like that. Who's going on? I'm not arguing. I'm only telling you the sort of chap I was. I'm only asking for my rights. Now, you may think that you can put me down because you're all dressed up like that, which you weren't when you were under me. And I may be only a poor man, but I've got to have my rights same as you. See? Oh, no. It's not as bad as all that. Look, I have not got my rights or I should not be here. You will not get yours either. You get something far better. Never fear. That's just what I say! I haven't got my rights! I always done my best. I never done nothing wrong. And what I don't see is why I should be put below a bloody murderer like you. Who knows whether you will be? Only be happy. And come with me. What you keep on arguing for? I knew from the beginning that those friends of his were doing him no good. No, Robert, said I. Your friends are now my friends. It is my duty to have them here, however tired I am, and however little we can afford it. You'd have thought that would have been enough. But they did come by for a bit. That is when I had to use a certain amount of tact. A woman who has her wits about her can always drop in a word here and there. I wanted Robert to see them against a different background. They weren't quite at their ease in my drawing room, nor at their best. Sometimes I couldn't help laughing. Yes, I know the treatment was painful for Robert while it was going on, but it was all for his own good in the end. None of that set were friends of his any longer by the end of the first year. They all tourist traps. They all run by the same people. There's a combine, you know? World Combine just takes an atlas and decides where they'll have a site. Doesn't matter what they choose as long as the publicity is properly managed. Then you've lived down there in the great town for some time in what they call hell? Yes. It's a flop too. They leave you to expect red fire and devils and all sorts of interesting people sizzling on grills. Henry VIII and all that, but when you get there, it's just the same as any other town. Why are you torturing me? You are jeering at me. How can I tell you to tear me apart? If you wanted to help me, why didn't you kill the damn thing without asking me? Before I knew, though, the whole thing would be over by now. If you had, I cannot kill it against your will. It is impossible. Have I your permission? Now, at this point, the lizard began chattering so loudly to the ghost that even I could hear what it was saying. Be careful. He can do what he says. He can kill me. One fatal word from you, and he will. Then you would be without me forever and ever. It isn't natural. How would you live? You'd only be a sort of a ghost, not a real man as you are now. He doesn't understand. He's only a cold, bloodless, abstract thing. It may be natural for him, but it isn't for us. Have I your permission? Said the angel to the ghost. I know it will kill me. It won't. But supposing it did. Do you understand all this, my son? I think so, sir. But am I right in thinking that the lizard really turned into the horse? Eh? But it was killed first? You'll not forget that part of the story. I'll try not to. But does this mean that everything that is in us can go on to the mountains? Nothing. Not even what is best and noblest can go on as it now is. Nothing. Not even what is lowest and most bestial will not be raised again if it first submits to death.